Slide it on. Very clearly, I'm Buster 2005, and this is Ferventoys USP45 Gel Blaster. Nice, small, and compact, and a lot different. Now, I'm a man of my word, and I'm currently sitting in my basement. So, let's get on to the review. So, I got Ferventoys UPS45 blaster. Let's unpack it and see what's inside. So in the package, we get the UPS45 blaster, a hopper, a feeding mechanism, a battery charger, I think 10,000 rounds, maybe more, maybe a bit less, in two colors, orange and blue, and a laser, and some safety glasses. Also, the instruction manuals. Starting off with the blaster overview, starting from the front and working our way to the back. At the front, we have the muzzle. Basically, the end of the barrel, the muzzle. On top, we have the rail, which holds the adapter for the hopper. On the bottom, you have a small rail to hold the laser sight included with the blaster. I will go over that in a second. The trigger down below and the handle. On the bottom of the handle is the battery compartment in which you plug in your battery and be able to fire. On the other side, you have the on and off switch right below, which turns on and off the blaster. So, with this blaster comes a nice laser sight, which is actually really good. It's surprisingly powerful, so even when you're under a bright light like this one, you can still very clearly see the laser, which is amazing. So that's one thing I can already tell is really nice with the blaster. The quality seems, the plastic seems to be of higher quality, and it is nice and solid. Also pretty lightweight. I think the thing that has the most weight is actually the rounds up top. So I have a few other things to show in the blaster overview. The two attachments that were sent to me by Ferventoys, the extra laser in flashlight. So I will go over those here in a second. With the flashlight attachment on the blaster, you can take a look at it. At the front is obviously the flashlight part, and on the back is the button to turn it on and off. Like all attachments that have been with basically every blaster ever gone, there will be a tab on this side in which you need to pull out to be able to actually use it. There isn't batteries aren't included or are included, so you don't need to go grab any. Plus, it'd be specific batteries that you can, once you run out, if you use it enough, you can find those. I thought there was an attachment to change the battery, but I think they're to change the way the light's actually facing, but I think that's on a different one, so that's my bad. Even in underneath a bright light like the one I have, you can still very clearly see the actual light coming from it, which again is very good design, and just just means it has a really good power to the flashlight, which I quite like. And here's it with all the lights off. It actually does have a very nice wide radius, really good for dark environments. So far, I really like the flashlight that they included. I'm gonna guess that it's not quite designed for this blaster, but it does work very well with the blaster. I have a feeling both of the attachments were designed for the SS21 blaster. This blaster, because of the rail on the side and the rail on the bottom. But you can use it with most other blasters like this one, but not ones like the M416, sadly. So let's put on the laser and take a look at that. To put on these attachments, all you have to do is unscrew the unscrew this part on the left side, and then once you get that untightened, you can put it onto the blaster. So, with this on the blaster, we can take a look. Same thing on the back. On the back is the on and off switch. But this time on the bottom, there is a little dial that does, I don't think there's any. So once again on the back, there's the on and off switch to turn it on and off. And in clear, bright light, you can still see the laser. Just as good as the other one. A bit bigger, but it does look better. Although it is pretty large compared to the one included with the blaster. So I would just use this one. If you want to use this on any of your other blasters, go for it. So as see in very clear light, very bright light, you can see it, which is again very good. Turning off the lights, it's even brighter, which is very nice and works very well in dark environments if that's what you decide to play in. Which honestly would be very interesting to play in a dark environment. So that concludes taking a look at the included the extra attachments that Ferventoys sent me. I'm pretty sure they are in a bundle on their website. These will be linked in the description below, along with the blaster. Just like the last blaster, this blaster is very easy to set up because there are only 3 parts. There's the battery and the the feeding mechanism and the hopper. So first, let's put in the battery. You'll find the latch where to put the battery in on the bottom of the handle. In there, you'll have the cord and the connector. You just want to plug that in with the little notch facing upside, so it clicks right on in, and then you just slide in the battery. It's a little weird to get in, a little hard to get that in, but once you do, you just put it in and close it on up, and that's the battery. To turn it on or off, you find the switch right here. Back is off, I presume, and then forward is on. Now, to put on the hopper, you want to grab the feeding actual attachment, flip it over so the arrow is pointing to where the barrel is, and then just slide it on the rail until it can't go any further. It'll kind of have to click into place, and then it'll be lined up with the hole. And then you just put this in by twisting it. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So, once you have that, your blaster is all set up. Now you just need to prepare the ammo, and you're ready to go. When you do put the hopper in and you have the ammo inside of it, you'll want to flip it upside down to do that. The laser attachment, which I forgot I had it, all you want to do is take the green tab out, and then slide it on the bottom rail located by the on and off switch, and just slide it on. And that's how I set it up. To turn it on, you just flip this forward and it'll be on. To get the ammo ready for firing, the first thing you want to do is grab the packet and cut it open. Then pour it into the container that's given in the packaging, or the hopper, and fill it up with cold or lukewarm water. I do it with cold, it's easy, and I don't want to do it with hot water. It could make it a little brittle. You want to leave those for 4 hours in the water to fully grow to their size. And once that's done, you'll want to seal off the packet. While they're growing, I recommend you want to plug in the battery. The battery is USB, so it should plug into whatever box you have. And then once you have the battery plugged in, you wait for the gel rounds to charge, and the battery will most likely be charged by the time it's done. But if you really need to, I'd say leave it for 4 to 5 hours, just like the gel rounds. Once the gel rounds are fully grown, you'll want to strain the water from the gel rounds. To do that, all you need is something like a small strainer that I have, and just flip it over and get all the water out without spilling any of the gel rounds. Then you want to load it into your blaster upside down, and you're ready to fire. So I'm currently outside. I have the ammo loaded up my blaster and just turn it on and we're gonna fire. So we're gonna fire at my tree over there, which is about, say, 30 feet away. And I'm gonna shoot myself in the foot just to see if it hurts. Even the range from that would be like not even like 2 feet. So we shall see. It is a very beautiful day outside, very hot, but luckily I'm in the shade thanks to a tree behind me. So let's go ahead and fire this thing. This thing is full auto, so but you can feather the trigger to make it shoot semi-auto and burst, etc. So let's just fire this thing. Oof. And that is all of the ammo in the blaster. I didn't notice it had feeding issues, so I think that's because of how like the gel balls will end up blocking each other out. So you just have to flip it over and then flip it back, and it should be fine to go until it happens to jam again. Other than that, it's not a huge issue. So let's go. My final thoughts. So overall, this thing is really fun. The laser worked well. Even the extra attachments that Ferventoys sent me worked really well. Although those are a separate bundle, they don't come with the blaster. It does have slight feeding issues when you're shooting. That's because all the gel rounds are trying to go to the same place, so there can only be one at a time. So to fix that, just flip it upside down, flip it back over, and it should fix itself. Does happen a good bit often though. But these also are a different size gel round than the other, say like the M416. So just keep that in mind. They do sell extra gel rounds on their site, ferventoys.com. Again, link in the description below. Other than that, it works well. It's nice and compact and nice and light. There were no problems. The grip is nice and big, which could be a problem for younger people than me. I have decent sized hands, so I can get around it comfortably. But say a kid may have a little bit of issues being able to actually hold this thing. If they have to, you can use 2 hands. The trigger well is nice and big, so anyone can get their fingers into it, unlike the M416, which had a small one. So overall, it has the same similarities, but it's nice and compact. Pistol design, which I think is cool that they're finally dipping into something like this instead of just keeping it with like rifles and other companies like other companies that I reviewed blasters for, having say like the MP5, the AK. This time going with a pistol version of this gel blaster. So I think that concludes it. Its battery, it lasts for a long time. Has a range about 32, or just, I didn't have to actually angle it up at all this time. So like 30, 40 feet away, hit just fine. Angling up would be about 50 feet. On that, it has a really good range for what it is, a decent power. and I don't really have much to say about it. I shot my foot. If you're wearing something, it may sting for just a little bit, but other than that, it'll go away like in a second or two. So this doesn't really hurt that bad. I don't know FPS. I need to get a chronograph. I do not have one currently. So yeah, laser sight worked well. The blaster worked phenomenal for me. Just a slight feeding issue. I think I'm legally obligated to tell you that I get a 10% commission if you buy this blaster using the link in the description. So yeah, if you guys want a cool blaster for a decent price, I'll put the price up on the screen now, because I always forget what the actual price is when I go to record. Should probably be looking at that right before I start, but it's fine. Works well, and yeah, I don't have much to say. Thank you so much, Ferventoys, for sending me these 2 blasters. This is the last one I have until they send me more. I have 2 more blasters to review from other companies after this, so stay tuned. It's going to be pretty exciting. Thank you for sending these blasters, Ferventoys, and thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a good day.
But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, maybe you'll get sick of being the monster out of my head, under my bed. Think you're something out of my nightmares, standing right there. But if I lay down and I play dead and I stay dead, then will you get bored of killing me?
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want.